So do you compare your spouse or your marriage to other spouses or other marriages? Now, I know you probably thought to yourself like, no, I don't do it. But most likely that's because you're thinking of the most obvious way that people do that, and that's with their mouth, right? They say, why can't you be more like him or her? Or why can't we be more like them? Or why can't we do what they do and how they do it? And that's the most obvious way. And you probably would never say that to your spouse because you love them and you wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. But what about when you're scrolling social media? What about when you're scrolling up and down social media and you're seeing the lives that people are putting out and it's making it look like they have it all together and everything is perfect, and you start to feel a certain kind of way. You start to feel like, I wish we were like them. I wish she was like her. I wish he was like him. That's where the problem starts at, as you start to feel it in your heart, as you start to feel it in your mind, right? And maybe you say, well, I don't say it out of my mouth and I don't feel that way. You know, I don't feel it when I'm scrolling social media, right? But are you trying to set your home up, set your marriage up, run your marriage, set your life up like you see other couples doing? My friend, you are comparing your spouse and your marriage to others, whether you say it out of your mouth, whether you feel it in your heart, or whether you're taking steps to make your life like someone else's. So to make your wife or husband like someone else, you are comparing yourself to another person, or comparing your spouse to another spouse, and comparing your marriage to another marriage. There are dangers in doing that. Comparing your spouse to another spouse and comparing your marriage to another marriage can lead to jealousy in you and in your spouse. So if you vocalize these feelings to your spouse can begin to feel unappreciated. If you haven't vocalized them and they're just in your heart and in your mind, then it's very possible that you can stop appreciating them and their efforts. Lastly, when you're comparing your spouse and your marriage to other spouses and other marriages, it creates a lack of trust. All of these things break down walls in your marriage and begin to set you guys up for unnecessary challenges and potential divorce. So let's begin to work on crushing comparison. Okay, I know you're thinking to yourself, how in the world do I crush comparison? Well, one of the ways you can do that is just to remember or reevaluate the uniqueness of your spouse. Your spouse is unique. In fact, some of those unique things is why you fell in love with them in the first place. So I would go back to those things. I'd reevaluate those things, and I would work on helping my spouse strengthen those areas and perfect those areas. I wouldn't try to necessarily change them into being someone else. I would look at the uniqueness of my spouse and I would focus all of my attention on those things. And I would do the same with my marriage. Every marriage is unique. What are your strengths in your marriage, right? Focus on those strengths. Focus on perfecting those strengths, right? And you'll have a very strong foundation in your marriage. All right. Thank you guys for watching this video. You have a blessed day.